Hello and welcome to a new weekly segment that I'm going to call This Week in the Studio, because I'll be talking about everything that's going on this week in the studio. So this week, me talking about upcoming projects, recently finished projects, works in progress, issues, whatever. Hopefully in the future I will be offering this series as a Facebook Live recording so that you guys can ask me questions in real time, and I'll be able to answer you whether it's about what I'm working on or if you guys need help with anything. So without further ado, let's see what's going on this week in the studio. First, I'm going to tell you what I finished last week, which is these two Deer Doe Melilot tops. They're so adorable. They're hanging up here. I haven't photographed them yet for the blog, so these will probably be coming not for a few weeks to the actual blog, but I just wanted to show that they're finished, they're beautiful, they're swingy. This one has giraffes on it, so I'm so excited about those. Those are my only recently finished projects, so here's what I'm going to be working on this week. I have this dress that I'm going to be tailoring for a client. She's going to wear it to a wedding. It just needs a hem and the straps need to be taken up a little bit. And then I have several things that I'm working on for Honey Darlin, my eco-conscious fashion line. This is a custom order. I had these dip dye tops in my shop and she wanted it a little longer. So I added a piece of linen to lengthen it, and I just need to dip dye this bottom piece again so that it all looks uniform. And I'll have to make a whole new dye bath for that, and what I'm using is all natural dye, so I'm going to be using some acorns that I foraged from the yard for those. Also for Honey Darlin, I have another custom order. This is a shirt that a client sent to me. It was her father's, and I'm going to be making it into something very special, very cute that she can wear every day. It's going to be one of my peplum tops. I'm super excited for this project. I love projects like this. So I'm really looking forward to diving into that one. Projects for Amy Nicole Studio that I'll be working on. This week, last week I drafted a new sloper, a new dress sloper, so I will need to cut that out. It's all printed and ready to go. So this week I'm hoping to print it, tape it together, sew up a muslin so I can test the fit of it, and that is what I will use to make all my dress patterns in the future that will be available in my shop. As far as the current pattern, which as you know is a skirt, or maybe you don't know if you're new, my first pattern is going to be a skirt. I just finished another sample of that, and I just need to make a few edits to the PDF file, and then I will make yet another sample. And once I test that out, it's going to be really close to time to get testers on that. So if you want to be the first to know about being a tester for my first ever pattern, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter, and all of my subscribers will be the first to hear about my call for testers, because you guys are my favorite. In addition, I'm also working on the instructions for that pattern, so I'm about a third of the way through of those instructions. Instructions take a lot of time, so that is where I'm going, where my status is on that. As far as the blog goes, if you missed it this week, if you didn't see, these gray Chi-Town chinos are both up on the blog, and there's a video about them, so be sure to go check that out. And then I will be writing a post for next week that's about a wedding dress that I refashioned for a friend. It's so cool. The transformation was so amazing. She's beautiful, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. And as far as personal projects go, This week I'm hoping to get to, I don't know if I will, I have a lot on my plate this week. This dress needs to be refashioned. I'm going to make it into like a two-piece top and skirt. I found this dress at Goodwill like 100 years ago, and I just recently finally decided what I want to do with it. So hopefully I can get enough fabric out of the top to make a top to go with the skirt. But I just love these bold stripes. It's really, this fabric is not that great, but I tend to just kind of go down the aisle at the thrift store and pick out based on print, and then I'll feel the fabric and kind of see. So I've had this forever. I think I'm going to turn it into a skirt. Hopefully I will get to that this week. Last but not least, this week I'm working on a bridesmaid's dress that I'm wearing for one of my best friend's weddings. I'm kind of doing a hack, or I don't know if you would call it a hack. I'm replicating the dress that I was actually supposed to purchase, but when she sent me the picture, I was like, can I make that? So I've cut out I drafted the pattern last week. You might have saw me working on it on my Instagram stories. I've cut out the skirt in the lining. This is just a tricot lining. And I'm going to just sew up the lining as sort of a muslin tester. Instead of making an actual muslin, I don't want to cut into the main fabric yet because it's sequins and it was kind of expensive. So this stuff's super cheap. I'm just going to sew up the lining, see if that fits before I cut out the main skirt. A little tip if you want to skip the muslin but you don't want to mess up your main fabric. For fitted stuff like this, a lot of times you can just test it out on the lining first, because 9 times out of 10 your lining fabric is going to be a lot cheaper than your main fabric. So that's what's going on this week in the studio. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to bringing you these live. Got to work out a couple kinks for that. If you have been watching the news at all, please, please, please pray and keep in your thoughts my friends and family in the Houston area. My husband and I are high and dry, but I have a couple aunts and several friends who already have water in their homes. If you could pray, if you could donate, just keep that whole area in your thoughts. It doesn't seem like it's going to get better anytime soon. So really, really thinking about them and concerned about them. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my newsletter. It only comes once a month, so it's not going to clog your inbox. It just simple updates and usually a longer style blog post from me that's just for my subscribers. That I get a little more personal in there, so if you want to get to know me a little better, be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for joining me for this series. I'm so excited about it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.